speaker series of the French-American Foundation tonight. It's a beautiful day, and I really appreciate you all braving the weather to be here with us tonight. I know that some of you actually had competing events tonight, and so I'm glad that you could come and be here with you tonight. I would like to introduce, without further ado, our speaker and our moderator. It's not exactly a moderator, there's a panel of one, but the person who will be asking questions on your behalf, and then we will take questions from the room. When we do so, I will ask each one of you, if you ask a question, to identify yourself. And I will remind you that we observe the Chatham rules, which means that you can use what you hear tonight, but with no attribution. So with that commentary, I would now like to introduce Lieutenant General Jean-Paul Raffin. You will quickly appreciate that the Lieutenant General has an intimate knowledge of the United States, and as I will give you his bio, you will see that he has been in the United States, all over the United States, on a number of occasions. A graduate of the French Military Academy of Saint-Cyr, Lieutenant General Raffin was born in Le Puy-Gy. So I actually went onto Google to find out about Le Puy-Gy, and I found out why the General now lives in Toulouse. Because Le Puy-Gy is actually the place in France with the highest amount of rain. It is the number one most rain. I don't know if you even knew that, but I found that out today on Wikipedia. So we all feel bad for you, but happy that you found a new home. As a Marine, infantryman, and parachute instructor, he has spent most of his operational career from second lieutenant to colonel in professional parachute units, either with the 11th Parachute Division unit in France or overseas, particularly in Africa, Chad and Djibouti, Lebanon, and the Indian Ocean. He commanded the 2nd Marine Infantry Parachute Regiment in La Réunion. Lieutenant General Raffin graduated from the Army Staff College before serving on the teaching staff of the Joint Staff College. He also served as liaison officer and instructor at the Combined Arms Command in Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, USA, and attended the Center for Higher Military Studies and the Institute for Higher National Defense Studies in Paris. While in the US, he also attended the summer session in international affairs at Harvard University. After his promotion to the rank of Brigadier General in August 1994, he served as military attaché at the French Embassy in Washington, D.C., and was assigned in July 96 to the former Yugoslavia, first with the Allied Rapid Reaction Corps, and then as Chief J5, Plan and Policy, of the Stabilization Force, S4, in Bosnia-Herzegovina. In August 1997, he was assigned to the French Armed Forces staff as assistant to the DCOS for International Affairs. Before becoming himself DCOS, Director for International Affairs, in July 1998, he was promoted Major General in January of 1999. On March 1st, 2000, he was assigned to Brussels as the first French military representative to the European Union's Military Committee and promoted Lieutenant General. I will add that this is not in his bio, that he is in great part one of the instruments and one of the creators and architects of the European Defense Plan. On March 1st, 2001, he returned to Paris as Special Assistant to the French Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces. Between October and December 2001, he was assigned to Tampa, Florida, as Chief of the French Military Mission to Central Command, Operation Enduring Freedom. From February 2002 to March 2005, he assumed the command of the NATO Defense College in Rome, and later he was a director at the George Marshall Center in Garmisch, Germany. Now retired from the military, very recently retired from the military, he is a professor at the Political Science Institute of Toulouse in France. Please welcome the General. The General is not wearing his uniform, but I should add that He's covered from here to there with a variety of medals. And I will spare you the details of all because they are numerous, as you can imagine. I would like now for you to meet Romesh Ratnazar. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Romesh is a deputy managing editor of Time magazine. He has written dozens of cover stories on US foreign policy and foreign affairs and reported from many foreign locations, including Iraq, Afghanistan, Israel, and the Palestinian territories. So you will find that Ramesh is very conversant with some of the topics that the General will be covering today. He has won numerous journalism prizes and is a member of the Council of Foreign Relations. Prior to joining Time, Romesh was a reporter-researcher at the New Republic. He also has written for Slate, The Washington Post, The Washington Monthly, and many other publications. With Michael Weiskopf, Romesh won the 2004 National Headliner Award for magazine reporting from Time's 2003 Person of the Year story on the American soldier. Together, they also won a New York Press Club Award for feature writing in 2004 and spot news reporting in 2003. Ramesh has been a media fellow at the Hoover Institution, and you will all be happy to know that he was also named 2004 and 2005 Young Leader by the French-American Foundation, so he's really one of ours. He received a BA and MA in History from Stanford University in 1996 and grew up in Hayward, California. Please welcome Ramesh. Thank you.
Thank you, Antoine. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Well, it's dark. It's really a pleasure to be back in New York. Despite that yesterday I left Paris, it was sunny, and it was already spring. But tonight we will address a topic which is terribly dense, complex. I will try to avoid philosophy, but now as a professor, I dare to say that it's necessary to have some reflection on where our respective armed forces are involved and why. And so my reflection was an evolution of the war is now, due to the balance of forces in the world, is the fact that the war is changing in nature, which explained the way we have difficulties in Iraq, in Afghanistan, and where we are surely, but maybe slowly but surely, we are losing. I will not speak as a general, neither as a diplomat, but as a poor civilian with the ability to speak more freely now. If you have a look to the crisis in the world, look at that. Haiti, Sierra Leone, Côte d'Ivoire, Western Sahara, Congo, Burundi, Chad, Darfur, Eritrea, Kosovo, Bosnia, Cyprus, plenty of in the Middle East, Afghanistan, Iraq, Kashmir, and even Aceh in East Timor. That are only the operation that are now currently the operation which are under the control of the UN, of the DPKO, Department of Peacekeeping Operation, here in New York. If you add with that the operation which are conducted by NATO and the operation in which the European Union is involved, you can see that it's pretty large. I will not go into the detail because that would consume too much of my time, but you can see crisis everywhere. Everywhere and always more. So when now something is not going well in the world, the diplomats are saying,